Here comes Paul Espargaro then, rapid in FP1 yesterday morning. He was quickest at the end of the combined sessions. He was really strong as well in FP4 in terms of his race pace. Bit of late drama for him when he crashed that turn 9. So here we go then, 5 minutes. The clock winds down to, it's going to be a pretty intense 5 minutes here. Pole position up for grabs at the Red Bull Ring. Another big pat on the tank for Fabio Quartararo. He loved yet another pole position to deny Maverick Vinales his first one since October, as we just mentioned. And what about Rossi? His prime goal will be to get on those first 2 rows. He's in the game then, not out of it, of course, from row 3, but all the more harder. Particularly as well with the Ducatis ahead of him. That's going to be a headache for Rossi.
That's the thing for all the Yamahas, really. I think they're well aware that Pol Espargaro and Dovizioso have got great pace, but they could really throw a spanner in the works if they're on the front row. This lap's not going to go for Rossi. He's not going to bring anything to the party with this one. It's a banker lap in though, and it's a marker lap, so he's now going to try and go for broke. Dovi just up ahead of him, the 2 Italian veterans then. He does improve his time, believe it or not, Valentino Rossi there, even in that final sector. 24.018, 3/10 down on pole position, and he's 8th.
Yeah, he's not even a 10th away from that second row. From Andrea Dovizioso in 6th place. Taka Nakagami, rear of that Honda, fishtailing up the hill into turn 1. Nakagami at the moment down in 11th place. He's had pretty good race rhythm as well.
They've clearly found something in Maverick's side of the garage overnight, haven't they? Because Esteban Garcia, Maverick's crew chief, was pumped earlier on in FP3. They've found some speed from somewhere.
There's a lot of rubber been laid down, hasn't there, on the full dry day. Somewhat surprisingly, all that rubber would have been washed away last night by some heavy rain, but the track offering some pretty good grip right now.
Dovizioso's on a personal best through sector 2, but it's still a 10th off. Maverick Vinales is on a personal best, 600ths off as he charges up the hill towards turn 3. Gets a little bit out of shape. Back with Dovi through sector 3. Can he find any time through here? Can he claw back any time? Currently in line for 6th is Dovi. No, that's not going to work. He's lost another 2 or 3 tenths there.
This would be a scalp for Joan Mir if he can get on that front row of the grid. He loves the Red Bull Ring. Wasn't here last year after that big testing crash in Brno, but he is a double Moto3 race winner here around this famous Austrian circuit.
Vinales is still running well, just in the background of the shot there behind Joan Mir. He's got a good lap going and he's up in sector 3. He comes down the hill now and around the last couple of corners. Maverick Vinales is already on for pole position, but is he going to stretch the advantage at the top? A 23.694 for Maverick Vinales so far. What has he got now as he comes across the line? Vinales does it! 23.643, he stretches the gap then back to Fabio Quartararo.
Jack Miller had something go wrong for him in the second sector. He was really strong in the first split, Jack Miller, but he's way down in sector 2. Whether he's made a mistake or whether he's backed out of it to avoid some traffic.
Franco Morbidelli now goes up on the front row. We've got a Yamaha 1-2-3 here in Spielberg. And Dovi is up by a 10th here in sector 2. No pole position since Motegi.
What was
2018.
What was that about Austria being a bogey track for Yamaha? A lockout of the front row right now.
Not for long. It doesn't look like it's going to be long-lived that. There are fast sectors coming in from everyone. And here is the man that everyone's talking about, Paolo Ciabatti. Can't believe the news that's dropped here today. Can Dovi muster anything? As he comes around the final 2 corners here, he's lost some crucial time though in sector 3. He's about to come around the final turn now. A front row would do for Andrea Dovizioso. Vinales is on a fly, but let's get Dovi across the line. Here he comes, the number 4. He's fast! It's pole! It's a 23.618 for Dovi.
Can you believe it? Written in the stars, splitting from Ducati about 2 hours ago, and he's on course now for pole position. Here comes Mir and Vinales. The pair of them have got really good pace. Look at this from Maverick Vinales, using Mir as a perfect reference. Vinales goes back to the top. It's a 1:23.450. They're edging close to the all-time lap record set by Marquez. 1:23 flat in 2019.
1 lap speed from Yamahas in this session is really impressive. Franco Morbidelli here might get himself back on the front row and nudge Quartararo off, who likewise is on a decent lap.
Where's Miguel Oliveira going with his current lap? He's down in 12th place at the moment, putting together a good lap. Yeah, he's up 4 spots. 8th, that's pushed Rossi back down into 10th. That's where Rossi started last weekend in Brno.
Dovi's having another nibble at this. He wants sweet revenge, doesn't he, over what's happened of late. Pol Espargaro also on a good lap. So what about Quartararo? He's across first in the background. Pol Espargaro.
It's not a nibble from Dovi, it's a massive chunk. Look at this from Andrea Dovizioso. Pol Espargaro on the front row then. Oh, you just cannot take your eyes off this session. Incredible. It's tight. Dovi then down by just 700ths in the third split. Estimated position P2. He'd love to be on that front row. Can he break KTM Hearts late on here? Pol Espargaro looking vulnerable in third place. He does. Dovi takes it at 1:23.606, but there's still more drama to come because Jack Miller's flying through sector 1 yet again. The Australian currently in 5th place, going for his second MotoGP pole.
Well, Dovi's rolled out of it, so that's it from him. Pol Espargaro and Jack Miller. Now, Jack Miller's been flying through sector 1, but he's not been able to hook up the perfect lap. Mir again. That's the best we've seen from him on a Saturday afternoon.
Pol Espargaro still on course, potentially for pole position. So is Jack Miller. It looks like it's between the Spaniard and the Australian here to potentially deny Maverick Viñales. Here comes Pol Espargaro sweeping through turn 7. Just 3 corners left then. This could be a dream pole position for KTM and Red Bull in their home Grand Prix. He sweeps down now over the crest into the breakings over turn 9. This is where he crashed at the end of FP4. It's going to be tight.
Around the last couple of corners, will there be celebrations for Pit Byra and KTM once more? The checkered flag is out. Miller is also on a flyer. They're both coming through the last couple of corners. Here comes Pol Espargaro. Can he get it? No, he can't. What about Miller? Has he done enough?
Second for Miller. So tight.
Close.
How tight was that? Maverick Viñales then clinches his first pole position in MotoGP since the Australian Grand Prix last year. He takes it from the Australian. Jack Miller, what a session. 800ths of a second split the top 3 men in that session. Pol Espargaro has to settle for 5th place. He rallied big style on that last lap. Middle of the second row then for Espargaro. Dovizioso going for a 5th straight victory for Ducati tomorrow. He was 4th. What a session, what a 15 minutes that was. Viñales then top of the pile, Miller and Quartararo on the front row. Fabio Quartararo has not missed the front row since the British Grand Prix at Silverstone last year. Valentino Rossi, well, all of his heroics to get out of Q1 didn't really pay off. He was last and 12th in that session. So many stories crammed into that 15 minutes.